My daughter was 11 days shy of her 21st birthday, to which she was super looking forward to. On June 12th, 2015, somebody that she knew and had befriended decided that if Andrea really didn't reciprocate his feelings for her, which he, I would say, was at least infatuated, if not in love with her, he decided to, if nobody could have her, or if he couldn't have her, nobody could. So he went into Coral Ridge Mall and shot her 3 times in the back, which were fatal shots. And she, best of my knowledge, died right there in the foyer kind of the mall at the guest welcome center that she manned. Andrea was a very bubbly person, loved kids, actually pretty much loved interacting with about anybody. She'd like to scare you, she'd like to make you laugh, but at the same time, she was a comfort to a lot of people. She went through a lot growing up, so she had a heart that went for the underdog, so she was always trying to motivate people, make them smile, be happy. She didn't wake up that day thinking it was her last day on earth. I didn't wake up that day. I didn't text her at noon that day thinking it would be the last conversation I would ever have with her. Alex Kozak is the person that murdered my daughter, Andrea. I would say your average person that, at least when you first met him, he was an average person, but then he became, I'll just call him the monster that he is, that he decided to take Andrea from us. And so Alex Kozak is the man that murdered her on June 12th. A lot of people don't believe or even think or fathom that something like this tragedy could happen to them. It does. You watch the news all the time and you kind of try to sympathize with the people. Within the first 24 hours of Andrea's death, people from Horizon's Survivors Program reached out to us to offer assistance with whatever we needed. Like with the media, we'd had reporters already trying to contact different members of my family, wanting information, and being such a shock anyway from the way this all played out, overwhelmed, and they offered to handle that for us, or speak for us, or help us speak in front of them, which at that point none of us could even remotely. So to have somebody step in and to represent us, even though they didn't know us, they had dealt with people that had gone through that, and they knew exactly what to expect, to tell us what to expect, and that sort of thing. I'm just gonna, I think pretty much that first phone call to offer assistance, but they also offered, like, we were gonna be doing a lot of driving back and forth because we did not live in the town that this took place, an hour away, usually for all of us. They offered, the whole gas card situation. If we wanted to talk to anybody, counselors, they would help line that up. When we first heard about Horizons and what they offered with over the top, actually, kind of stuff, we could call them at any time, 24 hours a day. They had a whole packet of pamphlets and for everything. They had stuff for the parents They had a folder for Andrea's sister Cassie, who was 18 at the time, and they know what they need, what we need as victims of this. Because this was such a public event that happened, in a mall, so there was lots and lots of witnesses, people that tried to help Andrea. I know Horizons have reached out to a lot of those, I'm going to call them victims as well, witnesses. I can only imagine what they went through, the fear. I think Horizons helped a lot of the witnesses go through counseling, even just like I had said earlier, it's like a shoulder to cry on, sometimes just over the phone, but a lot of those people were locals, so with Horizons being in Cedar Rapids, I'm sure it was easier for them to have face-to-face contact. But having spoke to some of the witnesses, I know Horizons played a huge part in their recovery, and they still are going through recovery, because, they saw something that you never should have to see outside of a movie theater. I know they were huge in that, and they actually, after witnesses testified, they played a critical role in having them meet us, the family. We really appreciated being able to talk to them, all of the witnesses. They played a huge part in getting us connected to kind of talk through that and be able to tell them thank you. If there was another family, parents, siblings that had to endure a tragedy like we did with the murder, I would recommend to people to take all the help you can get. Sometimes you can be too proud, and think, I can handle this on my own. No, you can't. Horizons is very good with actively getting to you. It's not a service you have to look for. It's a service that they come to you and say, hey, we have this. Let us help you. Let them. You can't do it by yourself. You can't do it. And as strong as you think you are, it'll drop you to your knees over and over and over again, day after day. Let them help you. After she passed, Cassie and I got these tattoos. I love you to the moon and back. It's something I've always said to my daughters, and so Cassie and I have matching ones, and it has 3 stars, which is significant to Cassie and I. And then a lot of times when we see a butterfly, it's Andrea coming to visit us. Whether it is or not, that's how we feel. If we see one, we think of them. So I got the butterflies, an A for Andrea and a C for Cassie. But I look at it every day, and when I see a butterfly, I talk to it as if it's Andrea, and then I just, Cassie's gotten a few tattoos as well in remembrance of her sister. So I don't know. It's always there.